Hey y'all. Um I'm just gonna wait for more people to get in here. Bear with me a minute, please. Oh crap. I forgot to put my cover page on. 1 second. Nobody knows what I'm talking about. Okay, something's going on. Yes. All right. So, everyone, I don't know if this is a rumor. I have no idea what's going on. I want to make that very clear. Nothing may be going on. Something may be going on. This is the message. What happened to it? Where the fuck did it go? I see you send me that message again. Where did it go? The fuck? Hold on. Okay. Seth is on his way there now to the Texas Roadhouse. They supposedly found, allegedly, have no idea. This is very new. Some stuff. Police are bagging and collecting a flashlight, socks, and underwear behind Texas Roadhouse by water. Seth headed there now. TikTokers found it. I'm trying to find their link. If anyone has their link or knows anything about this, call in or text this number right here. Let's go. Shit. Let's go to the Facebook group. And let's see what's going on. No, he's not right now, 1-800. He's not. Yes, caller.
Hey, it's Guidance. I sent you all of the links in Facebook.
Oh, good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You're awesome.
You're welcome. Just wanted typing it inside, and I was like,
Have you heard
let me try every which way.
Have you heard anything?
No, it's like a group streaming on TikTok right now about it. So I just tuned in to it. I was trying to listen to that, you and Jay.
Oh, I can just send it to you. I didn't know it was you. Let me send it to you.
Trevor's over there trying to validate it too.
Okay, yeah, I'll send it to her.
There's no.
Hang on.
That was
Oh my
cool.
God.
But
I'll call you
885.
back when I find something.
Pictures of the little black
All
thing that was found. This is it.
9693. 219.
Oh, I'm sorry.
885.
I didn't realize I wasn't muted. I pulled it. Listen, guys, I'm
All right.
sorry.
It's on its way, barbecue lady.
I'm
Oh,
on
our
3
picture
hours.
is on the board.
What?
It's on the board. He put it up there. It's right there.
What?
I don't know if they have a number or not, but I'll
Right there.
definitely get a hold of it.
The cops weren't interested.
Hold on, I have you. I'm from Connecticut, by the way.
Jesus. God, these people make my heart go pitter patter. Why the cops would not be interested. I just stopped to get TikTok earlier, but didn't stay. What, so they found, what did they find? This is why I use my, yes, bingo, Angela. Yes, caller. Hello?
Justin,
Yes.
hey, TikToker.
Uh-huh.
I tried to get your attention in chat when you were live before, to let you know. They said they found a pair of boxers and a black box that you have on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Someone had called in and said that they thought it was an Avengers flashlight. The police came. It was all on live. They walked him down. He went back to his car. He called another officer to come down.
Mm-hmm.
He went back down to the creek, which is somewhere by the Texas Roadhouse.
Mm-hmm.
I guess there's a river, and then there's a creek that kind of jots off from that. And then they left, but they also found a sock, which someone said was the same socks that the bowling alley rents out or gives out or whatever. And then they left, and as far as I know, the cops did not bag or take anything. Seth was on his way, supposedly, and then I guess he must have gotten information from the police, and I guess he didn't end up going down there.
Yeah, I don't think this is anything. It doesn't sound like it's anything.
Yeah, I did try to get your attention in chat before when it was first going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as I know, they didn't bag anything, they didn't take anything, and they left.
Okay. So they obviously, I mean, if they didn't bag it or take anything, they're obviously not interested. Right.
Right.
So there's that. Okay, my dear. Thank you for calling.
That's all I know.
All right.
All right.
Thanks. Bye. Okay. Walked around the Texas Roadhouse. Okay. Oh my God. If someone planted that there, they deserve hell. They deserve absolute hell and prosecuted. Oh my God. I can't even, that makes me sick thinking about someone doing something like that. How did they know it wasn't his? I mean, Seth said he's seen the footage from Texas Roadhouse. And like the word barefoot could mean two different things, actual bare feet or in socks. You know, I thought about that cat. I thought the exact same thing. I was like, I wonder if he was actually barefoot or could it mean in socks as well? I actually thought about that as well. Oh God, I just hope somebody, they need to find this boy. They need to find this kid. For sure, like pronto. I wouldn't doubt it being planted. I mean, If someone planted something, that is as sick as it gets. I don't do TikTok. Sometimes it's hard to believe. Yeah. I mean, if they didn't take it, I'm sure it was something that they could just look at. Did anyone see what it was? Seth saw the TikTok pics and said they're not Sebastian's. Yeah, they had to make that pretty clear, like, immediately. They called Seth to verify. Oh, let me okay, listen to this. Speaking of pictures, I need to ask Seth this too. I'm going to ask Seth, but I want to ask you something, guys. Let me I've got to email this to myself, but it's about his last picture, alleged last picture. Give me 1 second. Cuz I've got some questions about this. It's where the damn it, where is it at? Okay. Bear with me, I'm sorry. But it's important. Okay. All right, here we go. Emailing it to myself. Okay. Now, tell me this. Tell me this. Riddle me this. Okay, this picture right here, right? Now, isn't this picture supposed to have been the picture of them, of Sebastian, the last, like the day they went to the BJ's? Was this Saturday or Sunday? This picture right here. Can anyone tell me? No, Brian. I don't even. Never mind. Does anyone know? Sunday. That's what I'm thinking. Saturday the 24th. Sunday. BJ's was Sunday, wasn't it? Okay, if this was Sunday, okay, think about this. If this was Sunday, this picture right here, and this was him at BJ's, and you can tell this is BJ's. If you ever been to BJ's, it's like a Sam's Club, right? 224. Let me see here. So if it's 2/24, that would be Saturday. He is at Costco there, not BJ's. I can see the Kirkland. Oh yeah, it does say. Well, it says land, so but I'm sure it's Kirkland. Which day did they go to Costco? Didn't they go to a Costco? One day, I can't remember. If this was Sunday, looks very young in the pic. Okay. Okay. Well, my question was if this was happened to be Sunday, I was thinking him wearing this shirt because they went home after. Yes, I know that. Love not word. That's what I'm saying. Because I was confused because if this was actually Sunday and like he was at BJ's or wherever, he went home and then I guess they dropped the groceries off or whatever, and then they went out to eat. So he would have, if this was Sunday, which I don't guess it is, he would have had to have changed again. Definitely looks like BJ's concession area. But Kirkland's is isn't that's not that's Costco's brand, I'm pretty sure. It's ironic. Yeah, it says optimistic. I know. BJ's went home, then to Texas restaurant. Exactly. Yeah. But my question was if this was BJ's Bowling, then Texas Roadhouse. Well, I think it was BJ's home bowling, Texas Roadhouse. Because they had to go. No, Kirkland's not Sam's. I know that for a fact. It's not. Jesse, what's fake? Who's saying it's fake? What's fake? What if mom bought shoes at BJ's? Well, I know he had just gotten a pair of shoes, like pickup niece. That's a lot of stuff that they did that day. Oh, she said fake news. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, Kirkland is 100% Costco. I mean, I guess that says Kirkland because it's got land on it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I really hope they were not the clothes were not planted. I pray to God. Seth had just bought him new boots. I know he had just gotten a new pair of shoes or boots or something. Always a theme with missing children having a big day. It's so weird, isn't it, Amy? It's like with this case and the Summer Wells case, it's like they went to 2,400 places that day and did 1,300 fun things, right? You know, I don't get it. I don't get it. I just don't know. I think honestly, guys, I think if he was around there, if Sebastian was around there, they would have already found him. That's what I believe. Madeline Soto. Oh, Madeline Soto. The 911 call came out for Madeline Soto. Hey, Ziggy. And you can hear like the mom talking. It sounds like she's going through a McDonald's drive-through window calling 911. There is no panic in that woman's voice, like at all. It's like saying, "Hey, yeah, I need a number 1. No pickles, no onions, large diet." That's what it sounds like. There's like no panic or anything in her voice. So it's just crazy. I am 3 minutes away from the campsite. I want to ride through there so bad, but it's dark. I'm gonna go first thing in the morning. Hey, Libby. Yeah. Okay. Well, I went live because I just wanted to know what was going on. I wasn't really planning a live. The person who called wasn't Jennifer. There were 3. There were 3 of them. She sounded very nonchalant to me. There wasn't any panic at all. They say mom, stepdad. Oh yeah, and look at the theme. Look at the theme out of all of these people. What are they? Stepdads. It's always stepdads or mothers, boyfriends. Oh, you're welcome, Brittany. Thank you for having me. Always. Always a stepdad. Always a woman's boyfriend. Never fails. Yeah. All right, guys. I'm going to end it. I don't really have anything to say right now. I always have my notes planned out and stuff. Justin, can you play the 911 call? I don't have it right now, my dear, but I will play it. We'll play it soon. I might be live later on my 3rd channel. If you haven't subscribed to my 3rd channel and you just want to hear me ramble, join us over there. It's called Hey Sweetie. Hey, SWEETTEA. No, law enforcement was available for 4 hours. Wow. That's crazy. I won the lottery. My stepdad is my daddy. And Robin, and that's the thing. There's some stepdads out there who step up and they take, children who actually need a good father and provide them a daddy, right? But I don't know, man. If you got a good stepdad, hold on, hold on, I'm getting some messages. Let me make sure before I end this because I don't have to pop back live again. I don't want to only get 3 notifications in 24 hours. No, Katie didn't dye her hair black. That was something that was going around. It was a picture. I looked at it. I don't believe at all she dyed her hair. At all. Not at all. Yeah. Yeah. Same Brittany. I would never get married again. I will never get married again if I divorce. I'm just going to be real with you. Nope. Okay. Yes, pray for the community. The fence is absolutely black though. The fence is yeah. Thank you, JD, for subbing to my new channel. Appreciate it. I go there like really late at night. Generally, I'm there. I'll go at any time, but I've only done like 4 lives. I've only had the channel for like less than 2 weeks. So me neither. I love being single. So I was single for a little bit. years ago, and I had an apartment and all that, and you get set in your routine, you know what I mean? So after you get set in your routine of being single, and then you start dating again, it's kind of weird, So I understand that a lot of people really enjoy being single. Does anyone know how far Chris's parents live from them? 12 minutes, maybe 12 minutes. Married and divorced once, maybe get married, may get married in a few months. Really? SL, congratulations. Better you than me. Better you than me. Okay? That's better you than me. Okay? I don't know. God, my heart dropped. My phone started blowing up. You know, it would be really nice if he was just hidden, right? If Chris just didn't want Sebastian in the, talk about anything related to his upcoming custody thing, right? I would pray it's something like that. Did Katie say he will never be found? Allegedly, according to for that as well, according to Chris. Well, I mean, if that was Seth's parents, they said that Chris allegedly said that they'll never find Sebastian. I think, honestly, in my opinion, I think if he hid Sebastian, like if this is the worst case scenario, I think it's going to be very hard to find him. Hopefully, Sebastian is somewhere safe and hidden out. I pray to God. Search the whole hospital route if Katie accidentally hit him too hard. Going wrong. But I do think he will be extremely. Reality wins. Listen, there's two scenarios. There's two scenarios. One is they really like being in Mississippi, right? They keep going back to Mississippi for really no reason whatsoever. 3.5 hours away. You obviously know your child is not coming home, in my opinion. You obviously know your child is not coming home. Why? Because if you knew your child was lost, A, you would be looking for your child, and B, you would not be 3.5 hours away. It's like they're trying to keep an eye on something, or they're trying to get out of an area of a situation. They feel most comfortable in that RV right now. Does that mean Sebastian is around Hendersonville? Is that what that means? Or does it mean he's more toward Mississippi? Yes, you can call in guidance. Actually, just take a link. Hold on. Why they take Katie's car when they are together? To me, that's such a waste. It is. It is. But I think thinks he's untouchable. Who's untouchable? Hello.
Hey,
What's up?
so yesterday listening to Seth's interview, and I sent a message asking about the locations of like the harassment that started getting me questioning if the harassment was centrally in a specific spot. And it sounds like it's basically in Hendersonville. So it makes me think as if something is hidden in Hendersonville that they don't want to be seen.
Yeah. It kind of makes me think, they are more comfortable 3.5 hours away, and there's a reason for that.
And they've got their watchdogs in Hendersonville.
Well, wasn't
That's
Chris in
what I think.
he was around Hendersonville earlier, wasn't he, today?
I don't know. I heard he was around somewhere, but I've been so busy.
Yeah, I
It
heard
was
he
it
was around.
Gallatin? I think it was
Anyway,
Gallatin.
yeah, they said it was like 10 minutes away from Henderson.
I remember hearing that briefly scanning through. But which doesn't make sense either. And then they don't go to his vigil. It just a lot of their actions, it just is all too familiar with Summers.
Mm-hmm. Let me pull up a map. Hold on a second. Let's pull up Google. Let's look at this area.
I'll mute one.
Let's look up Hendersonville. What's their address?
1008 Stafford Court.
Stafford, okay.
Because that was my initial question. If his searchers are being harassed and followed. And then one thing I did notice on a live I was listening to earlier is at the vigil, there was the same truck going by and Harleys or motorcycles. It just sounded, if you're a biker, you can hear the different type of purr, And it went by at least 3 times in the vigil, just from the short time I heard it, the trucks and the motorcycles, which was interesting.
This is the Cumberland River. They live really close to that too. Trying to think of where it could be. See there? I don't know. He's got to be around somewhere. He has to be.
That's what I'm thinking. And you know what sticks out in my mind? Always Nancy Grace sticks out in my mind and a lot of her sayings. And this was another one. Is during Kaylee Anthony, that was a significant starting point of me following these type of cases. And she goes, statistically, they're always found within 1 mile radius of the house. I don't know what the statistics are now, but that was what, 2008, 2009?
I know by like car driving miles, they say anywhere from 2 to 28 miles, but I don't know how radius that is. I did a radius the other day, but that's statistically, that's not
right. And this was back then too, so things have even gone farther since then. What's your thoughts on it?
I think I think of like Gannon Stout, right? And then he was states away.
He was down here.
Seth said people taking down his flyers. Yes. he said that flyers were being taken down. I don't know if he said
From
specifically his flyers, but
from well, from my understanding, from what I heard from Smiley today, was they're taking like businesses everywhere's loving to put them up. It's people coming behind them and tearing them down. Even Trev, he mentioned that he had posters that he physically put up and are gone, even with Summers,
that's
which I
crazy.
found to be insane. Why would you, for both cases, why would you want their flyers to be down? Like with Summers, they wanted to get on with their life and not put anything up. That was our biggest battle. I remember that.
Yeah.
But that's why I was debating about getting all the flyers posted and printed out and start sending them and blasting on Twitter as well. You know?
Yeah. Hendersonville's up here, right? And they are over here
Yeah.
in Mississippi.
And that just does not make sense. And my husband, he hates talking about this stuff with me. It's like torture, nails on chalkboard for him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And last night I asked him, I go, so say one of our kids disappears, would you ever leave that house? He goes, never.
Never. Never, ever, ever.
And I go, and that's why I try to be a voice for the ones that go away. I don't understand it. How can you
Justin,
not look?
go ahead. I don't know. I mean, there's only one reason, right?
If you already know where you're not looking for something, you already know the location.
Yeah, you
In my
don't look,
opinion.
well, you don't look for something that's not missing,
Yep.
right? You don't look
Yep.
for something that's not missing. If you know where something is, there's no need to look for it.
What's the point in looking for something if you already know where it's hiding or it's put away?
Bingo.
And also with them being military backing and very calculated and organized, you'd assume, wouldn't their military come in and want to search like Seth is if they didn't know where something was?
Exactly.
My heart breaks for Seth. It really does.
I know. I don't know. I worry about Seth's health. I mean,
He looks so drained.
he looks so drained, but just the physical and the mental and emotional, stress that he puts on his body, I'm afraid it's, God forbid, something to happen to him during this,
Yeah. Yeah. I've worried about that every day. And each live I see him jump on. And it's like, I wish I could do more. And I just,
Yeah. Yeah, and and Kat Ritter here, she makes a very blunt point, but it's a point. She's saying, unalive people don't wear shoes. And I was thinking about that. I was thinking, well, he don't have shoes perhaps because, in my opinion, he was taken out of that house through the garage. And obviously, when you walk in Chris and Katie's home, what's the first thing you're going to do? You're going to take off your shoes, right?
yeah.
So he's walking around the house, or he's in his bedroom, right? He's supposed to go to bed, or he's, maybe it's even before bedtime. Something happened right before bedtime.
Either right before bedtime or last proof of life. And that made me question even more, Justin, recently, just listening, because I've been doing a lot of sitting back and just digesting and listening. That specific question was, I just want the last proof of life. So in theory, that makes me think that that garbage pixelated picture, they do not consider Sebastian's last proof of life. I don't think Seth specifically asked for the roadhouse. I think he asked for the last proof of life. What's your
He did.
thoughts?
He did. He said that he wanted to know that his son was, you know, that there was proof of life after he left his house. Friday. Justin, is there any way to send snacks for Seth? He's not eating, so maybe cookies, protein bars. Actually, I asked him just a little bit ago if I could send him dinner or lunch today, but he's been busy. He hasn't even texted me back. So I sent money to his Cash App for the channel and stuff. So
I do know like drinks and snacks why he's that are non-perishable for searching and easy to grab and go. But also are nutritious, which is hard when they're grab and go. He's just I heard the doctor told him he needed to take a break
yeah.
because of his arm.
Yeah, he has a hurt shoulder. Yeah.
And now questions. I wanted your thought on this too.
Correct.
Now, they don't seem like the type that would use the front door. Do you think that that ever crossed your mind? It's hit me since day one. They don't seem like the type to use the front door.
I've discussed that before. Hold on one second. I just got a mess. Okay. I don't think that they would normally use the front door at all because they go out the garage.
That's what I assume.
That's with their car. However, if he catches the bus, he probably goes out the front door.
But the way it's set up, it looks easier to go in and out through the garage. That looks like that's their main entrance and exit point.
Hold on. Let me, something that's a point, because I just thought of something. Let's look at their.
And I guarantee their shoes aren't at the front door. It's at the door of the garage.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's just sat with me because.
Let's look at this. Let's look at this for a second. Let's think about where they would go to the bus. Is he going to walk out here and go to the sidewalk, or is he just going to walk out the? Because he's going to catch the bus right here. This is where he's going to catch the bus.
Out. In my opinion,
it would be easier to just go out right here,
where the floodlights are always on.
Yeah. Well, this is the door, right? There's a door right there, and it would just be easier to walk out. Why walk out the front door?
The way it's set up, I would think that they would never use their front door.
Yeah, I mean, because I don't use my front door unless someone is coming to my house. My front door is not used.
Mm-hmm. And this has been bugging me, but I always forget to bring it up.
Yeah. I was saying that the other day. I was like, I don't think the front door is used. But then they said, well, he catches the school bus. And then I thought, oh, yeah. And I was thinking there was like a sidewalk that went straight up, but it doesn't. It goes out and over.
Mm-hmm.
Why use the front door when you're...
It's not functional.
Well, when you're always going to the garage anyway, when you're not catching the bus, this is your normal pathway.
Right.
Regardless, this is your normal pathway. When, Katie or Chris takes Sebastian somewhere, rather, they go to the garage. This is his normal pathway.
Yep.
Which is... So he's going to walk out this door and
Mhm.
walk up straight and go to the bus right here. Yeah, I don't think he's going to go out the front door.
I don't either. And it's been sitting with me and it's been driving me nuts thinking about it. Because the way it's set up, and I've been watching the floor plan, and it just does not make sense. You know?
I don't use my front door, but my kids do because they park in the driveway but not the garage. Yeah. But the thing is, he doesn't drive, right? Sebastian doesn't drive, so I think he's just going to go out the garage door normally. Are the Proudfoots
And that's
in?
where I think their shoes would be, is inside the garage door.
It might be in the garage door. It might be at the door of the where you enter the garage.
Right. In
That's
that
where we
vicinity,
take
but
off
not
our
near the
shoes.
front door.
Yeah, like we take off our shoes. I, pull in the garage. I open the door, and then we kick off our shoes right there. Seth said shoes. Yeah. Seth said shoes at the front door. Are they always at the front door?
That might be a good question to ask Seth. What was their primary entrance and exit point of the house?
I don't know. That just seems strange to me.
The entrance going around, it's not the most simple way of getting in and out of that house.
I mean, I
The
don't think
garage
it,
is.
I don't think it is,
Mm-mm.
but I mean, who knows? Yeah, I know Seth has said that the shoes were by the front door, but have they always been by the front door? Were they placed there?
Well, he was also referencing towards himself too. As soon as you walk in the door, like with him, it could be his front door, whatever the entry point is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely no shoes worn inside. There. Definitely no shoes worn inside for sure. Like I want to know about the back door. They said it would be too loud. What does that mean?
Is it maybe we never got a good view of the Florida room, did we? Or the
what room?
sunroom? Down here we call it Florida room. The
Yeah,
sunroom?
yeah, yeah. We've got a. You can go on. What's it called? Zillow. I think it's
Right.
Zillow. They
'Cause-
show it.
And that was another thing that I would is if he went out a window, they would hear it. I don't think it was pertaining. You know how we've all speculated if they really had an alarm system or not.
Good point. Well, and again, that's still if we believe Katie. Okay, if he comes home from school and the garage door is locked, what would he do?
Yeah, he has the code to the front door to get in.
He didn't. I don't think he knew the garage doors. I don't think he knew the garage door
Code.
code.
That's what Katie said.
That's what Katie said. Yes, he knew the front door.
But also at this point, their word is as good as.
Yeah.
So I don't. because I'm trying to see if there's any updates that I see on my end.
Yeah, I only knew the code to the front door. Which, I don't know. Why didn't you teach him the code to the back door? I don't
think he was ever really home alone, though.
No, he was home alone before.
Yeah, but she primarily worked at home.
Yeah. Why not teach him the codes to get in the house? Right. Exactly, Soul Sunshine. I mean, I think you should, if there's ever you can't get in the front door, whether the lock's not working, exactly. I think she was too. She installed those damn things.
Yeah. And I know from a fact from working for ADT, if you're an installer, you've got all the stuff. And there's sensors on doors, there's sensors on windows.
Yeah.
All of them have sensors. So that's why I was thinking it might not be just video, it could be a sensor that's on the door.
Hello, caller. What's that?
Hey, it's Angela.
Hey, Angela.
Hey, okay. So Seth has said shoes are left by the front door at both houses. At Katie's house, the code pad is on the front door. The garage door has a lock. Sebastian does not know the code to the front door, nor does he have a key to the garage door.
No, she said he knew the front door.
No. He didn't know it.
Well, then how did he get in?
He wasn't ever there by himself.
No, he knew that. No, she said I know for a fact she said he knew the front door.
No, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Seth said he did not know the code to get into the door.
He did know the code to get into the garage door, but he didn't.
The garage door didn't have a keypad.
It has
the garage door has a lock.
But he knew the front door. I know
and
that.
He doesn't have a key.
He did know the.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Man doors. Front. Yeah. Sorry, I got a key. Yes, man doors front. Knew the code.
Yes.
Didn't have a key to the garage door. Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I knew he knew the front to the. I knew he knew the code to the front door for sure.
And back door has a key, and he doesn't have a key.
Yeah, the back door had some type of key or something to that, but yeah, he didn't have that.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
Hell, I don't know. I'm confusing myself. Y'all have a good night.
Okay, honey. Thanks. Bye-bye. Okay. Yeah, she confused herself, I think, for a moment. She got it though. What is it? Okay, Justin, I won't argue anymore. Go back and listen. Oh, I was going to, because I knew the front door. I was like, shut the front door. He knows it. He knows the front door. Shut the front door. Guys, I cannot do another Summer Wells. I can't do this. I'm just telling y'all right now. I'm going to sign off and never come back if this kid is not found. I'm telling you. I cannot do another 3 years. What's the call-in number? 867-5309.
Every time you go to list your number, that song comes into my head because of the 807.
807. 307.
That's right, 307.
Mm-hmm. You can call caller. Eight 8675309 8675309. I had no plans on being live right now.
So I'm hearing that this is
Sorry, I'm eating.
potentially the third time he's gone missing.
The third time.
Yep, hang on. I am gonna drop down and drop up.
How's
Oh,
that
he
happen?
said it on Court TV. Hang on. Okay.
Thank you for calling, caller.
Hey, Justin, it's Rebecca.
Hey, Rebecca.
Hey, see the tree by the picture that you're showing now on the screen?
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the garage,
Mm-hmm.
that tree that looks like it's kind of hanging on the roof on the far end of the garage.
Uh-huh.
I've seen another picture. I think it's a more recent one, the same view. And there's a big old double floodlight on that White House behind there.
Mm-hmm.
And that tree's been trimmed, I think. But I'm thinking that's what's showing in that dark video is that double floodlight and the same, it's like a diagonal direction.
Uh-huh.
And to me, it looks like those lights that are moving are in their driveway right there.
You have a picture?
I don't. I wish I did, but it's the same angle as this picture you're showing now. But that tree's not in the way. There's big old floodlights on the peak of that roof right there behind on that White House.
I don't know.
So when I look at that dark video, that's what I see. Is that floodlight with those double lights, the ones that are stationary,
Mm-hmm.
and then the two lights moving around that would put them in their driveway. That's just what I'm seeing.
I think that, I'll be honest with you, I think the trash truck video is suspicious. I have a problem with it making sense that is a trash truck. I'll be honest with you. But
yep, me too.
I don't know. It's just weird.
Yeah, and why can't, there's a whole rest of that video we haven't seen.
Yeah. And Michelle makes a good point.
So anyway.
Third incident, it was his third incident not disappearing. It was like this third incident, meaning that's happened, like things that just happened. Sorry.
Yeah, on their watch.
So
I guess ICU sent you the video, and I think the timestamp is at 4 minutes and 45 seconds. If not, I'll forward it to you too. From Court TV.
Third time Sebastian has come up missing.
So he was a runner, in my opinion, it seems.
Yeah, well, that's all I had to say, Justin. I'll let you go.
All right, baby. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, let's look at this. This is from Court TV.
Yeah, I heard that, Katie, today.
At the bare minimum.
Has she been a good mother to Sebastian?
Not in my opinion. This is the third time that my son's come up missing now under her watch. Time before that, her and Chris let my son get molested and raped in their apartment. And the time before that, I did a well care check because she left and raped.
Hold on.
watch. Time under her watch.
Damn it.
You know, my son's come up missing now under her watch. Time before that, her and Chris let my son get molested and raped in their apartment. And the time before that, I did a well care check because she let.
I think this means third incident total. It doesn't mean 3 incidents that he's gone missing.
A known sex offender who, yes, did their 9 years in prison, but she left my son around that person. You don't do that. If you're a parent, you don't do that.
Right off.
You're supposed to protect your kid. You don't put them in where they can get in any type of harm's way.
Seth, you said something very upsetting, very shocking, and I just want to go back just a moment. You said that your wife allowed your son, Sebastian, your ex-wife, I should say, your ex-wife allowed Sebastian to be in a situation where he was molested and raped?
In California. And Chris in her apartment. They let a child who was 5 years older than my son play with my son and didn't bother to check on him there neither. And he lost his innocence because of it.
Seth, I'm so sorry to hear this. I'm so sorry to hear this. No child should be subjected to any kind of abuse whatsoever. Sexual abuse can be especially traumatic for a young child. Is this something that Sebastian has struggled with since then?
Yeah, finally was able to actually start getting him therapy for it last year. The fact is that they weren't doing the correct thing, clearing California. And it's just last year finally getting him help because he's a victim. And now I'm finding out not only was, he was a victim of that, he's a victim of not getting the help he needs. And, I've listened to some of their podcasts where they make fun of him. Make fun of his dancing. Chris obviously has this thing about corporal discipline with him. And it's just...
What did I tell you earlier? I said they make fun of his dancing even.
It's not good.
Seth, I'm so sorry.
I need to find my son.
Right.
And he's going to need extensive...
Thank you, Daily.
Extensive therapy now to put him back on the right track.
Yes. Was Sebastian the one who told you about the sexual abuse that had happened?
His mother did. And my son did. This happened in California. So Sheriff's Department, CPS was involved. Sheriff's Department was involved there. They wouldn't give me the kid's name. His last name, but at least the only thing I was able to do there was put the detective over that case in contact with the school psychologist so that at least they can protect the other children from this child.
Right. So no juvenile proceedings commenced or anything like that, Seth, with this child. He wasn't brought to juvenile court.
Mm-hmm. No, in California. Kid's 13, they're like, he's too young to prosecute. And they wouldn't do anything about the parents either.
Seth, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. My heart breaks for you for so many reasons. And this is just one more of those reasons. Tell me, please, Seth, what else do you want the public to know as people all over are hoping and praying for your son Sebastian's safe return?
that. I'm just looking for him. I need people to help. I'm just one person. I can do a lot, but I can't do everything. And I have to find him. I have to find him.
Absolutely.
That breaks my heart when Seth says, I have to find him. I have to find him. That's really tough. Seth said, he's been saying actually, thank you, Daily. Love you. If you guys received any of those 5 memberships from Daily, please thank Miss Daily, please. Appreciate you. But he's been saying you haven't been asking the right questions. And we didn't understand that, but he kind of clarified last night that he's looking for the question that nobody has asked yet. Nobody. And because he said he's ran through every scenario through his head that he can think of, and it just takes the one question, and maybe you have it at home. I don't know, put it out there that can be what it takes to crack this case. Something can be so simple, guidance, something so simple can be, a
Like
very powerful question.
like last night, even his medications. Seth was like, that's a great point because you're so busy looking for this way, that way, which way are they going? And then it's like, wait, his medications, are they accounted for? Or have they been refilled?
Mm-hmm. Hey, Lucky Shot TikTokers found items just now. Oh, I think that was a few minutes ago, my dear. And the police came and said it wasn't anything. So thank you, Stacy. Oh, thank you, Jushan. That's so sweet. Thank you, my dear. That's what I was wondering about the meds. Yeah. I mean, they had him on like one of the strongest antipsychotics that you can have. I don't know how in the world the child got up at 6 a.m. I don't know how he did it. I don't know how he did it. Because I was talking to one of my doctor's friends, and she's a nurse. And I was talking to her about this case, and she's like, he was on that and he's 15? Because that was quite that medicine that they gave him. Yeah, it's a big sedative, and it's only for it is given to people with autism, but it's generally toward like violence, like it's hard to control. I just think that they wanted to, you know, Katie and them just wanted to drug him at night. Allegedly, in my opinion. So it's, I don't think, I mean, some kids need it, some medicine, but, a growing mind is, you shouldn't be given something like that. Yeah, it's much more powerful than Seroquel. It's much more powerful than Seroquel.
And that's where I still just get those vibes of they saw him more as an annoyance and work rather than taking pride in making him flourish.
I worked at a psych facility with kids and lots of were on respiro. That's very sad to me. That's just very sad to me, in my opinion, that so many kids are drugged.
Easiest way. And if you look at a lot of classes in schools, from my understanding, teachers push for it too so they can concentrate in class, whether they really, really need it or not. Because they just don't think kids should be kids anymore.
It steals your dreams too. Yeah. Listen, we are the only nation in the world that drugs our kids like this. I mean, probably the UK. I mean, there is no nation on this planet that gives kids more drugs than we do. I just don't think a growing mind. I think it should be absolutely held off at all cost, unless therapy and behavioral thing is not working and is not helping. I just don't think. I mean, it's a flourishing mind, and we know that these things cause dementia. We know that these things cause dementia, early onset dementia. I don't know. I'm kind of so. Oh, I know it's pharmaceutical companies. I come from a long line of reps in my family, so I know that.
I deal with reps daily.
Yeah. So,
Sarah doesn't think you don't see her.
I don't
We
see
see
her.
you.
What? Oh, I mean, it's going by so fast.
Yeah, chat's flying. He's on both channels though, Sarah.
Yeah, I got both channels rolling. CP's comments about doesn't sit right. Yeah. It's about making sacrifices, have a parent home and engaged, put the phones down. Yeah, that too, Gen Z. Absolutely. That is not true, Grace. I absolutely see you. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I had no plans of coming live. My son wanted me to get my son out of meds. I said, no, let kids be kids. Well, kids are supposed to be kids. People's like, oh my God, my kid's hyper. They're insane. They're climbing the walls. What the hell was I doing when I was a kid? I was climbing the freaking walls too.
Hey, when I called in, you heard him climbing the walls and having a
Yeah.
meltdown.
Absolutely. That's kids. Your kids are really little, right, Guidance? So, I
Yeah.
mean, when my kids were like that, they were spitfires.
Yep. They'll be 4
That's
in May.
exactly what kids do. Let them be little. Justin, do you think they could have shut the cameras off before Seth? You mean Sebastian came up missing, Sassy Cat? I think she was pulling lines. I do.
You know what caught my attention that Chris did say? And it didn't
Yes,
click with me until last night, I think, is when I heard him mention even people from out of town let us go in and get their footage.
Mhm.
Who had access to that footage? Them or law enforcement?
I think law enforcement. I'm pretty sure law enforcement.
I just
But
a
it's a good
thought.
question. It could be.
You know?
She said something interesting in Smiley's live, and I didn't get to play it today, and I wanted to play it, but in Smiley's live, she said, "We have put flyers all the way up to the state line." I thought that's interesting.
Which state line?
She means Tennessee state line.
Right, but which state line? Aligning. Mississippi? Kentucky? South Carolina?
Well, I think it's very interesting.
My bet would be Mississippi, but
I just think it's they're right over the state line.
Exactly.
Like right over the state line.
And I just don't get that. I really don't. Unless you have something to hide.
Of course. Of course. They feel much more comfortable 3.5 hours away in a different state.
And it doesn't make sense. Are you more comfortable in your house that's locked and guarded or in an RV that is at the front of the entrance that anybody can drive by and look?
Yeah.
Make that make sense. You have more privacy in your home.
You know, if they get arrested, all the police have to do is unhook the trailer and pull them in. Nice.
I like that. That's
Beep,
true.
beep.
Just watch them hop on in and then lock up and
Yeah.
haul
Vroom,
them
mother
away.
chicken. Vroom, mother chicken.
It'll be a highway RV trace or a trailer camper trace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just unhook them and hook them to the police car. You're going in.
And when you were talking earlier, I think it was you, because I was shampooing carpets when I was calling you.
Mm-hmm.
When he mentioned you won't find him.
Yes, it works on a power failure. It's battery operated. Oh, I mean, if you mean the locks. Sorry, what'd you say?
And that sounds too familiar on Donwell's.
What?
Where he won't be found.
Mm-hmm. So they had 12. They had as many as 12 hours. As many as 12 hours. Well, at 11 hours. As many as 11. Most likely, they had 9 hours. Most likely. So if you cut that in half, you know, he could be as far as 3.5 hours away. I don't think he's that far away. I think he's actually much more closer to Hendersonville, but I don't think he's in Hendersonville.
And I heard that I just heard this, that Katie made a comment about her routine that night that she did take a bath. So now she read a chapter and took a bath.
Yeah, read a shower. Took a shower. Talked to Chris for 3 hours. Studied for her red exam or whatever she's talking about. And yeah, pet the dog up.
Because we have to think if he was okay, so here's one analogy. If he was already passed and they had to move him, we have to think of how much extra time that would have taken for dead weight.
Mm-hmm.
Versus if he's alive and he's walking and hiding somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many different scenarios of that time frame of how long it would take for A, B, or C to fall in effect on the radius that the search should expand to.
Right.
But
Yeah,
at the
Mark,
rate
can you draw
that
my third channel, please? Sorry.
I got it.
You don't
But
get
at the rate that they have been stalking and harassing and threatening everybody in Hendersonville, in my opinion, that's where everybody needs to pounce.
Mm-hmm.
Harassing. Okay, I'm posting it.
Could he be in another
Oh,
RV
no.
in a campground? They tell him they are going camping now. He is discounted from reality and news. Maybe he thinks vacay. Like I say, Devin, thank you for that. Anything is possible. But I don't think it's probable. I think if he was in a vehicle somewhere, like if they left the steakhouse and they traveled, and met Chris somewhere, I think they could have been able to have followed that. I think it would have been pretty easy for them to follow, at least the vicinity of where they were going, right?
Now, Princess Jasmina's mommy brings up a good point of how the states that don't extradite, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's where a lot of fake PIs go to get their licensing.
Oh my
Because
God.
you just need a brick and mortar license business to practice. They have a lot of lax rules in Mississippi. But it's also a federal case. So the U.S. Marshals, I would assume the FBI and the U.S. Marshals would trump that.
It would.
Because federal goes over.
Non-extradition states are South Carolina, Louisiana, and Mississippi.
But does that imply federal?
No, federal always
High
trumps.
profile.
Federal always trumps.
And the perfect analogy is if you look at the Mary Jane, federal trumps state. Because otherwise, crossing state lines, you can get in trouble for what's allowed in the other state.
Mm-hmm. Justin, in your heart of hearts, do you think the Proudfoots are capable of unaliving? I think anybody is capable of unaliving in the right situation.
My biggest fear is there's definitely motive behind it and the loyalty and certain backings behind it.
Mm-hmm.
But also, if there was an accident that happened, like get pissed off and whack him. Well, where exactly are those pockets of water on his brain?
I think it was on the side.
Which side?
I don't know, but I think it was on his side.
Right. So if he said something and pissed her off and she just whacked him, but she passed her polygraph, so you never know. I'm just thinking of like different scenarios that could be.
Right lateral, Trina said. Now someone's saying left.
Left as in, okay, so in the medical field, left is our right, and our right is their left. So if it was his.
She passed the poly, but what was her questions?
Exactly.
The questions allegedly were, did you hurt him? Do you know anyone that hurt him? And there was a couple more. But she says she passed her polygraph. They can absolutely lie to the public right now, and there's nothing that the TBI can do about them saying that they passed their polygraph. Sometimes the TBI will even say, "Hey, you passed."
Just to keep them on leash to see what else they say online.
Mhm. They're absolutely allowed to lie to you.
Mm-hmm. At least 100%. We see it day through and through all the time. They'll lie just to keep you on that thread to see what your next stunt is, or where you go, or what you do.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, Chris is supposed to be taking a lie detector test, but I think he just said that he was going to do it for TBI again, so he can lie to us and say, "I took one for TBI, I passed." TBI doesn't want me to take one from anyone else, so he doesn't have to take it from Nancy. Thank you, Misty. So sweet of you. SR finally. Hold on, Miss Cat. One second.
Oh, we lost him. Now, Lisa, I was thinking about that. If the SO spent 9 years in prison, that's my biggest question. If he spent 9 years in prison, then did they charge him as an adult?
No, no, the child was a minor and was never charged. SR finally. No, there was another one that they allowed around Sebastian, I believe. SR finally getting help was CP scared of SR was going to tell. And Sebastian having accident is a red flag. Seth said Sebastian was left with adult prison time for SA. Chris's friend ? Seth believes the 13-year-old was a victim too. Maybe CPSA, the 13-year-old. That has been, a lot of people has brought that up. You know, there is, I mean,
And
I
this
don't
is
know.
just my thought and my thought only. And when it comes to that, and it's not just one accident, so to say, birds of a feather.
Yeah.
But that's just my opinion only.
Alaska.
Oh, I heard they are searching in Alaska. Did you see that?
No, they're not. They're not
There was a
searching in
post in
Alaska.
there.
They're not searching in Alaska. There's nothing in Alaska. I'm telling you, there's nothing in Alaska. Telling you.
Just saying.
People's like, I mean, there's just nothing in Alaska, y'all.
See, I've questioned that love of Scorpio, but I've questioned it on both sides.
RSOs in KP family. I don't know. I came from town. Question for Seth. If Katie was studying for an exam, why was she on the phone to Chris for 3 hours? The answer is, my opinion, was she was plotting what to do with dear. Yeah. I agree. I think there was 2 possibilities why they were on the phone 3 hours. Either she did something, in my opinion, and she was freaking out and she called him while he was driving, perhaps there, or he left a phone there and she wasn't really on the phone. She was
I've
reading.
expected that too, in case there's any type of burners. But that's also where they get the feds are in, and they can track any devices that would be within that area at that time frame.
Yeah. You see, either if they have burner phones, that would indicate that it was either premeditated or they have more than one phone, and they could be burner phones, but they just use them for
Or work and personal. So
yeah,
that would make sense if they had 2 phones each.
yeah. I mean, a lot of people have 2 phones.
Mhm.
So, and they could just, if it's a burner phone, I think it would be harder for law enforcement, especially if they didn't know, because you don't even have to give a name for a burner phone.
And that's where they would go in and check what was pinging in that area at that time.
She was studying how to pass the polygraph. I think yes. I think Chris is probably studying right now, which I don't really
I
put
think
much into polygraphs, to be honest with you.
yeah.
Oh my God, what if she left her phone on the call to make it seem she was on? Yes, exactly. And that is when she left and got rid of it. That could be something. That could be something. But I also wonder, did she, like, if she did something, did she meet Chris when she went out to look for him and hand him over to Chris at that point when she went out? That way she was actually looking for him, right? He had just went missing.
Or technically before the time frame.
Yeah, but it would, like, she's frantic, right? She's supposed to be frantic, and she's looking for her kid, and she
Right.
took him out and met. She was supposedly, from what I understand, was gone for a little less than an hour.
Right. But what I was just thinking is if Seth wasn't at his job site after Texas Roadhouse, how close was he to them? I mean, Chris, not Seth. If that was the last proof of life. If he never made it home.
Yeah.
Because you would assume if there was grainy video of the garbage, there would be grainy video of him getting home too. But the car was pulled into the drive inside the garage. And from what I understand, majority of the time it's parked outside.
I've wondered this. I want to know why 12:30 to 6 a.m. are the hours Chris says when Sebastian disappears. Katie says she didn't check on him at 12 before she went to bed. So where does 12:30 come in? I've wondered that. Wondered that myself, my dear, because he said he told Nina. Chris told Nina that he went missing between the hours of 12:30 and 6 in the morning. And I thought 12:30, that's interesting. But I think it happened. I think whatever happened to him. So think about it like this. In my opinion, if there was foul play, something happened to him before 11 p.m. And I would say definitely before 10 p.m., most likely. Because what time does he normally go to bed? He goes to bed at 9 o'clock normally on a school night, right? He goes to bed at 9 o'clock on a school night. Well, if he would have just went to bed and went to sleep, what would have been the reason to, like, unless it was planned to get him up while he was sleeping, but I don't see Like, I think something popped off anywhere from 8 to 10 p.m. There was a fight, there was an argument, there was something. And he went
Hold on.
missing.
What time did they leave? So it'd be about 7-ish, 7:30 when they left. What time did they leave?
6:30.
6:30. So that gives 2.5 hours, possibly 3, by the time they start talking on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the same amount of time to get to and from door to door.
Yeah, a little bit more time needed, but I mean, you could probably do it. You could probably do it in 3 hours if you're driving pretty good. Yeah.
How far is the steakhouse? How long of a drive is it?
12 minutes.
So it'd be give or take 3 hours, because that knocks off the 12 to 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Just as a hypothetical theory there.
Yeah. What I think happened is Chris was, if she heard a thud, I think Chris was home and Chris got mad about something and went in his bedroom and she heard a thud. And that's when she went in there and something was irreversible.
As many blows as that kid probably had in his head, it honestly makes me question on that as being the main injury, especially with the pockets, if anything did happen to him. They wouldn't even let him play sports.
No. They wouldn't let him do nothing. They wouldn't let him do anything at all. Hold on, let me check something.
I agree, Bobby England.
I don't think he made it home. Yeah. He may have not made it home. You know, I would like to know there's 2 things I would really like to know. Well, there's more than 2 things, but I would like to know, did they normally talk 3 hours at a time?
I couldn't with my husband. I know that.
I don't talk to 3 hours to my husband. I'm weak.
Exactly. But we've also been married longer than they have. But
Yeah,
they've been
same,
together
but I
as
mean,
long as we have.
yeah, but at 6 years, I still wasn't talking to him 3 hours a week.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Once you become married, you're like, yeah, I
And
see every day.
Yes, and a lot of people's like, "Oh, well, if he was there and he passed, a cadaver dog could pick it up immediately." No, they can't. They cannot pick it up immediately. It takes at least
It would have to be some type of decomp.
well, yeah. I mean, you technically start decomposing as soon as you die, but it actually takes a good 12 to 24 hours for them to detect it.
You know, you remember that series that Chris did about the dogs?
Chris
McDonough? He did a whole series last year or the year before with Summer regarding cadaver and sniff, scent dogs, all the different types with the trainer that he had for his dogs when he was on the beat.
Yeah, I don't know.
That was very informative.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about going back and re-referencing it.
Yeah. I can tell you if like someone passes and they're on a bed for a couple hours, a few hours, they're not going to pick that up. They're just not. They're just not. The first place you start decomposing is your internal organs, and it's right through here. And you're not, trust me.
That's why the secretion of blood through urine and feces, because it starts internally.
Let me tell you something. I've argued this with, and I'm just really passionate about this subject. 11 True Crime says within minutes. They will not pick it up. There's not a dog around here that's going to pick up someone dead that just died minutes and they're going to pick it up. They're just not. I'm just telling you. There is a few websites out there that'll say, well, they can start picking it up right after you die. You are not decomposing enough at that point.
I think it also rigor mortis has a lot to do with it too.
No, rigor mortis, it's a process you go into after a number of hours, and
right,
then
but that's where I'm thinking of the time frame.
It's a chemical. So, and not everyone loses urine or bowels after death either. That is true. But they're not there to smell, someone defecating. They're there to smell decomposition. So, yeah, rigor mortis, anywhere from 6 to 12 hours generally.
Well, those dogs are trained for medical purposes. They're not cadaver dogs. When they sense sugar or heart attacks, they have different qualities and specialties that they're trained for.
Yes. Where would they dispose of him is what we need to be thinking about. I just feel he is in the water. I really feel like he's in the water. I just see, like, when I think of Chris, I don't know, I think of that. Thank you, Sharon. I don't know, that's what I think of when I think him. Or he's in something, I feel like, if that's the type he is. How do they train cadaver dogs? Well, when someone dies, as the decomposition happens, it stays in one spot, the decomposition, and it works its way out. And it depends on which way the air is moving and stuff as well. But the smell, think of it as working its way out. And as they get closer to it, they smell it, and it just they pinpoint the spot. But they can smell for quite a ways. I have an idea. If you are new to modding chat, please just post links and that's fine. Yeah, of course. That's me for my service though.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Teddy. I have seen a video, 3 dogs hit same spot 23 years later. Yeah. Yeah. Those are very good dogs. They can even smell. I mean, there was one cadaver dog. I think it was like a deck, and then it was like cement, like several feet of cement, and then there was like earth, and then there was like the body. It was several feet down.
Well, and then you also see, for example, with Brian Laundrie, they went over those cadaver dogs over in the DeSoto Park where they would have them on the boats because of
Yes, earthkeeper.
raising to the top of the water.
Putrescine and cadaverdine. You can buy this smell too. A lot of trainers use. You can buy a fluid that smells like decomposition. Let me spray it on your guidance. What are you wearing? Oh, it's this new perfume called Decomp.
You know, when you said that, I was thinking of like the hunting with the deer pee.
Yeah.
I've never heard of decomp. I can't do patchouli.
Oh, I love patchouli.
I had an employee that overdid it. I think that's why.
Some people hate patchouli.
I like it, but not when they bathe in it.
Yeah. See, like I can look at anything and it doesn't bother me at all. But smells do bother me. I'm very sensitive to smell. Yeah. Am I breaking up or is it on your end?
That might be on. I hear you good.
Okay.
Both.
I mean, I always smell like a French whore anytime you see me. So when I'm out,
I've heard you've got good taste though.
I try. But I always smell like a French whore.
Because when we met, we were soaking wet sweating.
Yeah, it was 974 degrees in hell. And
almost burned out some pine trees.
Yeah, we almost caught East Tennessee on fire.
In front of the police department at that.
Yeah.
Oh, that was my one
totally
thing with
I was
with
totally
Elijah's. I was watching you describe it on 2 times that night, laughing my butt off because watching you do it and you're doing like when we were shaking it. Oh man. And then what was it? A nickel and a penny?
Yes.
Or a dime and a penny?
A dime and a penny. But that was the year before.
That was the same time.
Yeah, that was the same time. You're right. It was same time. Yes. Justin Brothers Underwater Recovery is going to do sonar in the water tomorrow, but it's going to be members only. CJ was searching with them today. Oh yeah, I watched them a little bit today. But I was completely inappropriate at the very end of the Summer Wells Vigil. I couldn't help it. I mean, we were doing those Chinese lanterns, where you let them off, and it's supposed to be a beautiful thing, but I have a really kind of a sick sense of humor, twisted a little bit, I guess.
Same.
And when something goes awry, I laugh. I always laugh because to me it's kind of like like at funerals whenever they let off like the dove and it gets hit by a tractor trailer.
I am the same way, and I think that's the dark humor of what we've been through in our past, that now it's like it's our coping. It's how you can tell somebody's trauma of their past on how they react in those situations, I think.
So
because I'm the same way.
Yeah, I exactly that's the kind of things I laugh at. and it's supposed to be this, beautiful moment with some girls, and everyone's trying to get their lantern off, and these lanterns are like this person, they're like trying to let it off, and it's like 3/4 of the way on fire, and it just like burns up in the parking lot, and people was just having a hell of a time with it. And I'm live, and because I'm trying to, and I am busting a gut laughing. Oh my god, it
I
was.
think we were both live during that. And
I love the
oh
meme. I'm like, oh,
Lord.
you're hilarious. Answer, it's the trauma. Yeah, it really is.
That could be new March, Justin.
Yeah, yeah, we need to do that. Why are you
Don't mind my
laughing?
smile. It's the trauma.
Oh god, I don't
One of
know.
my old bosses used to yell at me because she'd be like, I am so serious with you right now, and all you're doing is smiling and laughing at me.
Sometimes it's like you laugh at the most inappropriate times, I guess. But
That's me. So when people go to read into people that laugh or giggle at the most inappropriate times, I'm like, I'm one of them.
can't help it.
Mm-mm.
Don't get hurt in front of me.
Thank you, Grace. I bug him all day long, every day, all night, every night.
You don't bug me. You're good. One of the collar guard at my uncle's funeral fumbled with the
Oh
gun
no.
before the 21 salute, and half the family cracked up.
But
Oh my
see,
god.
sometimes I take that as a sign of like if that person who passed had humor,
Right.
it was one of those things that was meant to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, of course, this would happen during their funeral.
Yeah.
It's his personality, 100%. I speak fluent sarcasm, yeah, that too, because I started off as a chef and a cook, and before when I started, there was like very little females doing it. Oh, you just got an email regarding the search in Alaska, sir.
Okay.
I have 2 left feet, Amy. My dad used to always call me Grace.
I didn't get an email from her. I got an email from Shar. The ladies have pictures of the stuff that was found. I wanted you to know, and in case it's something, but sorry if I upset you. Oh no, is Miss Kirby here?
I know she was earlier. Oh, she said she needs your email.
Oh, she needs my
I'm
email.
sorry.
Okay. There you go. There's my email if you want to send it. Sebastian was at home by himself at times. Seth talked to him while he did chores before his mom got home. Oh my god.
Oh, the Uvalde Foundation has turned their efforts to Alaska.
What?
I don't know how true that is, but I'll send it over right now.
Guys, this Alaska stuff.
Oh, this was per Nerdy Attic.
Really?
Yep. On his Twitter. I'm sending it over. then I'll look him up on Twitter.
Let me see. I'm looking him up right now. Nerdy Ann.
I sent you the screenshot of it.
Okay. All right, here we go. The Uvalde Foundation for Kids has turned the efforts to Alaska as related to the search for Sebastian Rogers. April 6, 2024. That was today, 9:31 a.m. That's I mean, hey, Esme, babe. Good to see you. I don't understand unless they got like a really good tip. But do you know how hard it is and expensive it is to fly a private plane? It depends on what kind of plane, but when my
Oh,
what is it?
they actually here. It's in the comments of his.
Whenever my pug had puppies, someone from a private plane, a big private plane, came and flew to my local airport and picked up her puppy, her own aircraft. I was like, damn.
So I wonder if this is on their Facebook page, the Uvalde Foundation for Kids. That's what it looks like. So I'll go there next.
Ooh, I got this. Okay. Here's the Uvalde Foundation for Kids.
This is like a day with me and Justin in ICU.
Yeah. This is what we do all day.
Off air.
The Uvalde Foundations for Kids officials with the foundation have confirmed this morning that its search support efforts are now focused in Juneau, Alaska. Officials say that leads show family having visited there following the initial report of Sebastian Rogers missing Tennessee. Let me tell you something. If I'm just going to say, I personally don't think that this is anything. I'll just be honest with you. But if he would be found in Alaska, you want to talk about people going crazy. I mean, this will be.
And the way they jump states with Faith, I wouldn't put it past them, but I also don't want to put anything towards this either at the same sense.
Yeah, I'm just not.
I'm on the line with it.
I just don't know how it's. Yeah, Priscilla. This would be like a movie and a book and on every front page. Because this case is just insanely big right now. With Facebook that they were in Juneau for her husband's work. I screenshot it. Yes. And I do know that they do go to Alaska for his work. Because he's a big wig where he works. I'd be one of those. Same. How far is Alaska from Tennessee? Well, Russia is closer to Alaska than we are. So there's that. You're closer to Vladimir Putin when you're in Alaska than you are most of us in the continental United States. Yeah. Alaska is the biggest state in the United States, but the lower 48 is Texas. Yeah. Oh, my can just dropped. Sorry. CJ is live at the vigil. The vigil's already happened, babe. Must be a replay. JK. Jamie K, it's funny. Yeah, it's 4,000 miles. Yeah. Yeah, I always say the vigil was at 6 o'clock or 6:30 or something like that. I mean, Justin, there's a military base in Alaska. Oh yeah, there's a lot of military. There's a lot of military in Alaska, and there's a lot of military in Hawaii. Where was Seth when Sebastian came up missing? Was he in the same town? He alleges that he was at work in Nashville Memphis. Sorry, Memphis, 3.5 hours away. It wouldn't be impossible to get him to Alaska. I'm from Washington. I've gotten on friends' parents' planes many times and never had documentation from my parents. That's interesting, Casey. I mean, have you done it recently? Like since 9/11? Oh, thank you, Daily. Thank you, my dear. The family sticks together like glue, and Chris and his mom are real close. Yeah, Chris is very, very close with his mom. Very close. I'm just trying to see if there's anything going on.
That's what I'm looking for too.
The most recent school photo of him. Here's the most recent school photo of Sebastian. Bless his heart. I mean, he looks older there than he does in his other pictures, doesn't he? He was growing up. I really think he was growing up and he was to Google 2000 Apple. Yes. Yeah. There's more people that go missing in Alaska than any other state. Hey, PG. Are you going live? Holy shit, it's 11:30. Why am I here? It's 11:30. I did not know. Are you going live, PG? Proud puts the money they pay out just hush money. They drove to Alaska with his buddy. They could have. I mean, yeah, but I mean, if you're going to take someone to Alaska, right, you're going to have to stop for gas 1,742 times. And, they're going to trail. You know, it's going to be easy to track you. Yeah, I think he was tired of Chris's BS, in my opinion. What do you think, Guidance?
I 100% agree with that. Oh,
Edna,
thank you.
I'm in Alaska chasing down some info about them being up here. I'm not finding any trace of Sebastian being here. Thank you, Edna. Thank you for that. Yeah.
Jennifer Coffindaffer just did a post about 15 minutes ago. And she goes, below is the article that detailed the landfill search for Sebastian Rogers a month ago. As new search groups continue to look for Sebastian, my question remains, what was the possible cause in that warrant? Yeah. What was the piece? What was the
Can you share that?
probable cause?
Can you share it?
Yeah.
His body was changing. Can you imagine? I mean, this is what. Hold on one second before I pop this up. They had him in diapers, y'all. Chris had this boy in diapers. Does this kid look like he needs diapers? No. Look at him. He does not look like he needs diapers. I'm not sorry for saying that, actually.
Somebody. There we go.
Shame on
I
you.
can click in. And this is where she wrote it. And then she takes it to the News Channel 5 where they documented the landfill.
Can you read that again?
Below is the article that detailed the landfill search for Sebastian Rogers a month ago. As new search groups continue to look for Sebastian, my question remains, what was the probable cause in that warrant? Where are you, Sebastian? Curious if she has anything else to say.
Just like Seth, they do not fit around to be. Wow. Yeah, you can tell he's getting facial hair. He's getting a mustache. Yeah. That is what baffles me. The main one on the flyer looks as if he's around 10 or 12 years old. This photo bothers me. I feel like he looks bruised on the forehead. No, he doesn't. He doesn't look bruised on the forehead.
I looked at that because people were alleging that, and it looks like it's just how his hair was positioned in that picture.
Okay.
There is no, as they have said, evidence that leads towards foul play. But there's things that just don't add up. His mother was the last one to see him. She's responsible for this, either through negligence at the bare minimum.
Has she been a good mother to Sebastian?
Not in my opinion. This is the third time that you know, my son's come up missing now under her watch. Time before that, her and Chris let my son get molested and raped, and
oh god, it's bad. I have a question about the armed services. Where was that? Was Chris Proudfoot in the Navy? Can Chris Proudfoot be investigated by the Navy for child abuse committed while he was being serviced? I don't know about that. Optimism, the word on Sebastian's shirt pictured on the right. I'm calling on the community to remain optimistic. Do not lose hope. Continue to pray on Sebastian is found safely. As for myself, I will not stop losing hope. I will not stop praying for Sebastian. Please Continue to share Sebastian's flyer. Keep the algorithm moving so that means remains in everyone's mind. Absolutely. Lots in the sauce. I don't get that. Does anyone get this? Why are they doing this to Trevor?
Oh, because Chris made a comment about Trevor being lost in the sauce on, I think, Smiley's interview. Or was it Duchess's?
Oh.
And Trevor tonight said it. And then I came out with the Nina interview and wasn't lost in that sauce.
I was okay. Making sure they wasn't picking on Trevor. JRL had a warm reception today. One of his fans looking out of the window, boots on the ground. These people. Kind of reminds me of the Lori Daybell when the kid's stepdad, and then this family moved away just like them.
I found something interesting. This is for entertainment purposes only.
What'd you find? What is this? Hold on, I can't even see. Hold on. Hey, not me.
The Marquis says, not me.
Chris blamed it
They
on
need
the
to add a
mortgage.
little font to that. That's I did not cause those scratches either.
Yeah. Blame the poor. In Summer Wells' case, Don blamed the dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, he said something about the dogs. I remember.
That caught my attention.
Those dogs are, it's always something. Always blaming someone. Okay, that's not the most flattering picture of Jennifer. Cooperating. Yes. Thank you. I said this earlier. Cooperating does not equal cleared.
I was internally clapping on Ginger Snap on this when I saw it earlier.
That is exactly right. I said that earlier. It's like, that is so true. Is Seth going to be on any YouTube channels tonight? I don't think he's going. I think he's kind of taking a rest tonight. Fun fact. Who says that? Fun fact. Because
they've been kicking out these memes on some of these groups.
Look at this. Watch this. This drives me insane. I want to show y'all. Drives me insane. Let's find it.
Came home to put groceries away because we bought snacks because he's 15 and snacks.
Right there. Snacks. Hold on, where is it at? 146.
Why, when I hear her say snacks, makes me think of Allison and the flowers?
Because he's 15. So, oh shit, 146. Because he's 15, so snacks. Listen.
Also popcorn.
Oh, that's a colossal.
Came home to put groceries away because we bought snacks because, he's 15 and snacks.
He's 15, snacks because he's 15, snacks.
She almost looked annoyed when she said that, like rolled her eyes type of a.
Snacks. Bought this colossal popcorn, came home, and he's snacks because, he's 15. Snacks. Snacks. You want a snack? Guidance, you want a snack?
I'll take all the snacks.
Snack.
I get that all day, every day. Juice, snacks.
You want a snack?
You and I we're on the same boat right now.
You want a snack?
I'm jelly beaning it up.
Snack. Snack. You look like a snack. You look like a snack right now. Snack. Snack. Can't help it. Say it all day. It's 15 because snacks.
I hear juice, juice, juice. Eat, eat, eat. All day long. Juice, eat. Because they're still pretty nonverbal.
Yeah. Juice. Juice.
And they get serious about it too. Juice.
They're so cute when they're little.
You heard them screaming earlier. They are.
Juice. Juice. I want juice.
That's the story of my life.
Yeah, no eye contact.
Oh, also, what bugged me is in the interviews, he would look down on his bottom left whenever she'd be asked specific questions. You know how he does that cough, hey?
Uh-huh.
But also when she's asked certain
Oh,
questions.
we're going to shut your pie hole. There you go. Sorry.
And always looks at, doesn't look at her, but side eyes her out of the corner of the eye, waiting to hear what she's going to say.
Yeah. Let's see how long she doesn't look up. Let's go.
Can you recap?
Hold on, let's go to Chronicles.
Walk through that day. Sunday,
49.
the day before he went missing. We got up and, fun fact, I made breakfast that morning.
Fun fact, I made breakfast that morning. Do you make breakfast every morning, Justin?
Yes.
Fun fact, that's called being a parent, right?
Right.
Mm.
Fun fact.
My sarcasm wants to come out.
Fun fact. You have to feed your children. Fun fact. Every day. If you haven't noticed, Katie, every day.
Breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks.
Snacks. Here we go. We're at 1 minute.
Juice.
We had a good time. We were laughing. We were joking. He talked to family on the phone during breakfast to brag. We went and picked up our niece.
Look at this.
Yeah, I got a call.
Look at this. You see, she's looking at him. We went and picked up our niece, and he looks up, thinking, remembering, oh, yeah. How would you know you're not there? But
Keyword we.
Yeah, but didn't
when he wasn't there.
But didn't Seth say that he was there the day before or something like that?
Yeah, which I don't understand because he's only let that slip, not all the interviews.
Watch this. I'm going to enlarge this. Watch this. Watch them. Credit goes to Chronicles of Olivia, my girl.
We went and picked up our niece. Yeah, I got a call and asked if I could go and pick her up, and I did. And so we went.
Hold up. Pick her up? I thought they had his sister.
And it's his niece from his side.
Yeah, but Melissa was there, so why would she be picking up the niece if the mom took him?
The mom?
Melissa was there.
You're right.
Yeah, Mohawk mom, first tale, 2 sisters and 1 niece. And then it was 1 sister and 2 nieces, I've heard. But then, didn't Seth say it was just, oh, well, he saw them walking to the car. He didn't see the table, I don't think.
That's interesting.
Why are you going to pick up your niece to go eat when they just went shopping per Melissa? And they were already together.
I did that.
Yeah, that's the difference, though, Paula. Whether she picked up the niece or picked up
good time.
them.
We were laughing, we were joking. He talked to family.
Then how? Whoa. I'm sorry, Justin.
No go. What?
I have a rebuttal to this. If she picked them up, but how did they get home then? This is to somebody in chat that says, yeah, she did take them or pick them up. Then how did they get home when on camera footage it's only her and Sebastian getting in the car?
I guess she took them back.
How? They didn't get into the car. The video footage is of Sebastian and Katie only as they drove off.
I think they went to, where'd they go? Before they went to BJ's, right?
Yeah.
They went to BJ's, and then I think they took them back home, and that's when Sebastian was at one of the neighbors' houses, because she said she saw them in the afternoon. And then I think they went to BJ's, bowling. Then I think they would have had to went to the neighbor's house, and then they went to dinner.
The bowling is in the same plaza as the steakhouse.
Really?
That's when JLR was live last time he was in town. That's where they were meeting up the first time before it moved to the Rudders.
Yeah, we need a whiteboard at this point. They floated.
But that's what's curious is if they said that they picked them up, then is there video footage of them being picked up and leaving the scene too?
They went
I
home
think
they used to put away snacks.
But they also said that they were at Texas Roadhouse with them.
There is no BJ's near them. Hold on, let me check.
Bowling.
Let's see if there's a BJ's in Hendersonville. There has to be. I don't think.
I've never been to one.
BJ's.
Right, but the bowling is in the same place as the steakhouse.
Oh crap! I just showed my thing.
They're saying BJ's is in Rivergate.
Goodlettsville is the closest one. Goodlettsville. Okay, Goodlettsville to Hendersonville. Tennessee to Hendersonville, Tennessee, driving directions. It's 12 minutes.
Not bad.
Look at this. Goodlettsville, Tennessee to Hendersonville is 12 minutes. 6 miles. So don't get it twisted. There we go.
And went to BJ's.
There
Had a
we
good
go.
time there. He ate a colossal popcorn. Came home to put groceries away because we bought snacks.
Snacks.
Because, you know, he's 15.
Meat snacks.
We went to the bowling alley. And then from there, we went to dinner. Came home. He took out the trash because that's his chore. He takes the can to the end of the driveway.
No, the Goodlettsonville is where the BJ's is what I'm saying.
About 9 o'clock. Told him to go to bed.
Yes, it's similar to Costco.
Come out of his room where he was playing. And he said, "All right, good night, Mama. Good night, puppies. Love you." We went to bed.
Now, that's a whole different story. Good night, Mama. Good night, puppies. And then he went to bed. I sound like SpongeBob when I see snakes. And it's not a single working camera, right? Huh?
He was doing something in his room because about an hour later I heard some noise and I was like, "I don't care what you're doing in there, but go to sleep." And about midnight I got up and I went to bed. And
Did she say she was on the couch there?
"Night, puppies. Love you." We went to bed. He was doing something in his room because about an hour later I heard some noise and I was like, "I don't care what you're doing in there, but go to sleep."
So around 1 a.m.? Or did you rewind before that?
What do you mean 1 a.m.?
Where he was playing, and he said, "All right, good night, Mama. Good night, puppies."
Hold on.
Snacks.
Snacks.
We went to the bowling alley. And then from there, we went to dinner. Came home. He took out the trash because that's his chore. He takes the can to the end of the driveway. About 9 o'clock, told him to go to bed. He's come out of his room where he was playing, and he said, "All right."
Okay. 9 o'clock. And come out of his room where he was playing, and he said, "All right, good
Night, Mama.
night,
Good night,
Mama.
puppies. Love you."
Good night, puppies. Love you."
Went to bed.
And then he went to bed. So that's 9 o'clock. Allege.
He was doing something in his room because about an hour later I heard some noise and I was like, "I don't care what you're doing in there, but go to sleep."
So that would be 10 o'clock. That would be 10 o'clock.
Okay.
So he said he was going to bed at 9, right? Said he was going to bed at 9. Good night, Mama. Good night, puppies. But an hour later, she hears a noise. Sounds like he has to stay in his room all the time. Well, sounds like he likes to be in his room. Planting flowers. She's big. Yeah. So he's still not asleep by 10 o'clock, according to her. And she hears a sound. All right.
And about midnight I got up and I went to bed.
So 2 hours
And,
later.
6 o'clock.
So 2 hours later. Right, Michelle? 2 hours later, she goes to bed.
Went to wake him up for school Monday morning. And that's when he wasn't here.
It's interesting how she says Monday morning, went to waking him up for school Monday morning, and that's when he wasn't.
What was going through your mind at that point? Like, what were the feelings that you were feeling? To censor myself. Holy freaking crap, this can't be happening. Where is my kid?
Now, does that sound like a panicked mother still? To censor myself? Holy freaking crap, this can't be happening. What's with the 10 sleeping and the 12 sleeping? Well, the 9 o'clock is when he says he's going to bed. Good night, mom. Good night, puppies. And then an hour later, she says she still hears him in there, and she yells, in this interview, she yells, I don't care what you're doing in there, just go to sleep. That's how she says it. Exactly how she says it. Don't care what you're doing in there, just go to sleep.
Choice words were used. Like, where the F is he? I had looked through the house for him because it was typical for him to get up and come and rummage for snacks and things like that. And he likes to dip behind the, walls and watch, and,
Okay, so they are in their dining room right here while they're having this interview. And to the right of her, right? It would be to the right, wouldn't it, guidance? To the right of her is where her kitchen is. And to the right of the kitchen is their bedroom. To the left of Chris is the entryway, and to the left of the entryway is Sebastian's bedroom. She has to go past the kitchen, through the living room and the dining room, sorta, kinda. She would see both rooms, and then she would see Sebastian in his room. But she says, I'm gonna go check to see if he's in. Thank you, Rebecca. I'm gonna go check and see if he's in the kitchen. You just walked through the entire house. You're on the opposite side of the house. You walked through every freaking room that you was just in. So it's not. Okay, here it is. All right, someone just sent me floodlights at neighbor's house. I don't see a floodlight. Maybe I'm overlooking it. Where's the floodlight at the neighbor's house? Am I overlooking it? Does anyone see a floodlight? When did she take her shower? That's a good question. I mean, that might be a floodlight, but I wouldn't promise. Yeah, I see a camper. So last proof of life was Texas Roadhouse around 6:30 p.m. Sunday, and then 911 call and 6:20 a.m. Monday. So 12 hours between last proof of video. Yes. Yep. Something. Where is the post found? I can't. Yeah, you'll have to let me know where that is, because I don't.
And then he comes out after I come back, and he likes to scare me. But
He likes to scare me. She smiles and then she goes.
after I looked, and I mean, mind you, all of this took place in like 1 minute flat. But I didn't see him in his room. I looked all over. I ran through the whole house. I looked out all the doors and windows, and I was like hollering his name. And I picked up the phone and I called my husband, and I said, I can't find him. And he said, what do you mean? I said, he's not in this effing house. I can't find our son. And I jumped in my car and I drove around the neighborhood, and I drove over by the school, and he's already like, at this point I was like hysterical, and I was crying, I was screaming. And
I'm telling you, that cough was planted. There's nobody that can convince me otherwise. Because she's losing it here. She's losing the story. Watch how she's losing the story. I'm going to back it up again.
mind you, all of this took place in like 1 minute flat. But
Watch him. Watch him nod. Watch him nod very slightly. I'm making it bigger. Let me make it bigger. Watch him nod. That the story's going good, in my opinion.
and then he comes out after I come back, and he likes to scare me. But after I looked, and I mean, mind you, all of this took place in like 1 minute flat.
See him nod?
But I didn't see him in his room. I looked all over. I ran through the whole house. I looked out all doors and windows, and I was like hollering his name. And I picked up the phone and I called my husband, and I said, I can't find him. And he said, what do you mean? I said, he's not in this effing house. I can't find our son. And I jumped in my car and I drove around the neighborhood, and I drove over by the school, and he's already like, at this point I was like hysterical, and I was crying, I was screaming. And he was like, three-wayed.
She's losing it.
But see, that cough totally stumped her. Totally stopped her.
Yeah, totally stopped. Look, watch her. She starts with the fingers. I'm telling you.
I jumped in my car and I drove around the neighborhood, and I drove over by the school, and he's already like, at this point I was like hysterical.
She's losing
I was
it.
crying, I was screaming.
After the cough.
And he was like,
Now look how she reacts. She lost her whole train of thought.
He three-wayed law enforcement. And
She's tracking back the
tell him
script.
Our son is missing, and we don't know what's going on. And he was like, go back to the house. They're on their way. And I ran
Yes, and that's right, Mohawk. I forgot to point that out. Hold on.
after I looked, and I mean, mind you, all of this took place in like 1 minute flat.
Hold
He
on.
said, he's not in this effing house. I can't find our son. And I jumped in my car and I drove around the neighborhood, and I drove over by the school, and he's already like, at this point I was like hysterical, and I was crying, I was screaming. And he was like, three-wayed. He three-wayed law enforcement.
You notice his cough?
And,
he goes completely to one side and coughs, and then goes and faces right towards her.
Yep. Yeah. But he was already. Yeah. She says he's already and changed it.
And
exactly.
Then you see her mentally with her fingers going over the script.
Right. This is, I mean,
he's already like, at this point I was like hysterical, and I was crying, I was screaming. And
he's already, you see, he's already what? Cough.
Makes me think of Stephen Stearns with the knuckle cracks.
How? No, well, this is the thing. How is he already right? When she's looking for him, calling 911.
What was that
He
open
was like,
Huh?
ended sentence?
um, three-wayed. He three-wayed law enforcement and was telling them like our son is missing and we don't know what's going on. And he was like, go back to the house. They're on their way. And I drove back to the house. And
Well, how do you he's like, go back to the house, they're on their way. What does that mean? You're on a three-way call with him. If you're
You
on a
should have
three-way
heard.
if you're on a three-way call with him, then how do you know you would already know they're on their way. She said she called him, then he added the three-way call to the sheriff. You can only yes, that as well. That as well.
And he also said he called.
Yes. So many. It's clear as day. Whenever the cough happened. Hold on one second.
watch, and then he comes out
Hold on.
after I looked, and I mean, mind you, all of this took place in like 1 minute flat.
Watch this.
But I didn't see him in his room. I looked all over. I ran through the whole house. I looked out all the doors and windows, and I was like hollering his name. And I picked up the phone and I called my husband, and I said, I can't find him. And he said, what do you mean? I said, he's not in this effing house.
Watch his body posture, how it changes. See how he sits straight up?
I can't find our son. And I jumped in my car and I drove around the neighborhood and I drove over by the school, and he's already at this point.
He also starts rubbing his hands.
Kind of screaming.
Wait. Hold on. Listen to this.
I jumped in my car and I drove around the neighborhood and I drove over by the school, and he's already at this point I was like hysterical and I was crying, I was screaming, and
He's already. She involved him, right? He is gone. He is hours. He's 3.5 hours away. He can't be nothing. And if you was on the phone with him on a three-way call, regardless of what happened, you know that they're on their way because you was on a freaking three-way call. Oh yeah, watch her hand. She's like this.
he was like,
Watch her.
three-wayed. He three-wayed law enforcement, and
Now listen to how she says she's doing this. This right here is a way to remember something. We remember things. That's how a lot of kids learn, especially they'll do this when they learn, or they'll do this, or they'll look up to try to remember something. And she's like, three-wayed, he three-wayed. And notice how when you're trying to remember something, you'll say it very similar to how she says it. He three-wayed. Listen to this. Watch it. It's very, very.
drove over by the school, and he's already at this point I was like hysterical and I was crying, I was screaming, and he was like, three-wayed. He three-wayed law enforcement, and was telling them our son is missing and we don't know what's going on. And he was like, go back to the house, they're on their way. And I drove back to the house, and
He's like, go back to the house. They're on their way. Hello. Hello.
Hold on. Do you see the similarity right there that just caught my attention?
What?
And I ran back. Well, drove back.
Yeah. I ran back. Yeah, I mean, that can be, in my opinion, I can say I'll say I ran to the store. I don't mean I ran, but I get what you're saying.
I'm just making a Candace reference.
Yeah. Yeah. But she's like, hold on.
And was telling them like our son is missing and we don't know what's going on. And he was like, go back to the house.
And he was like, go back to the house.
On their way, and I ran.
They're on their way. You were on the phone with him on a 3-way conversation. Remember? Yeah, I say ran when I drive too. Yeah. But I mean, some people, I think it depends sometimes where you live and all of that. But it's very self-evident.
I was just making a Candace Wells point.
That's true. Yeah, exactly.
Drove back to the house, and 20 days later, we haven't found him.
Yeah, I can't even imagine how stressful that is. And also, like when we were driving up here, like this neighborhood is so pretty and nice. And do you think, has he ever like walked away before, or like has that ever happened? It's just no, first time.
He's not a child that wanders. He's not one that is
He doesn't have a history of being an eloper, which is common. And I have friends with children on the spectrum who do struggle with.
But apparently, he's already done it 3 times.
That's one thing. It's always been a blessing. He's not been an eloper or a runner.
Well, I think Seth means 3 incidences, not ran away 3 times. One is like the SA thing, and then I forgot what the second one was, and then the third one was him going missing.
Because I'm hyper aware of everything in my house because the twins are.
Yeah. But apparently she was not.
Primary areas are like social and emotional dysregulation issues and things like that. But he's very smart. He's functional. Overall, he's a pretty happy kid. I mean, he's a teenager. He's coming into his hormones. He's angry that he's growing a mustache, but for the most part, he's a happy kid. And
what are your theories? Like, I'm sure your mind has thought of every possible thing that could have happened, but is there any theory that you can talk about that you think?
What I can tell you is, with all law enforcement, with everybody that's involved, there's nothing that's been eliminated. Everything is on the table. Everything is being looked at from every possible aspect.
Everything from he got out and walked away and was outside of the search radius before we started searching to the worst. And
that's currently where we're at. I mean, it's
really trying not to go down that road because
I will, Elisa.
We're gonna find him.
Speculating causes problems. Assumptions cause issues. And based on facts of what everybody knows right
now, you see how they're talking about speculation. They're not talking about how to find their son. They're not saying, Sebastian, if you're out there, mommy's coming to get you, right? Me and dad are looking for you. It's a defensive. They're in defense.
That's always bothered me. They're more concerned on talking to social media than talking to whoever might have taken Sebastian or to Sebastian himself, if he were to see this.
Yes. People generally who are not involved, we learned that are not involved, they don't give two wooden nickels about what anyone thinks of them. They just think I'm guilty, mother chicken. Go ahead. Just find my kid. We'll worry about that afterward. How about that? Say what you want to say. Find my kid. Okay? Right? That's it. But people like, in my opinion, these two, Don and Candace, what are they worried about? No, they're worried about themselves. No, it
They want
wasn't me.
friends.
Yes, they want friends. Yep. Look at this face. Look at this face. Look at him. Tell me if you don't think that they look.
And you know what's sad is we've all shed tears or started to tear up covering this in our own parts, being on camera, covering this case. And we haven't seen that from them. We've seen it from Seth.
Yes, Kathy was at home when Seth got there. But to be fair, I just want to be honest with Kathy lives closer than Seth was working as well. So I just want to point that out too.
Nothing. And everything is still on the table to being looked at.
We just know he's out there somewhere.
And what bugged me is I want to know why they picked
recently
that
Channel
toy.
5 in Nashville.
Yeah, the crane.
Why that specific toy?
Yeah, Donna. We're gonna go over that tomorrow. Because Chris wanted that. It's a crane. It's all about Chris. Yes.
They had security footage that showed 2 flashlights the night he disappeared. Is there anything that you think about this video or?
Sure. So
Oh, Bubble.
there's a lot of speculations about that video that are floating on the internet. Okay. And that is exactly what it is. It's speculations. Now,
Goose. Justin, go back to when she first says she went to wake him up. And look how Chris looks at Olivia. She went to first wake him up. Okay. Remember 7:25 chat, please, because I will not remember it. Let me see here.
And then from there, we went to dinner. Came home.
Look at Chris recalling that. I just caught that. Look at Chris looking again. He's up. He looks up and he nods. Watch him. See his eyes?
And then from there, we went to dinner.
See that?
He counts each time.
He took out the trash because that's his chore. He takes the can.
But see, the news interviews prior to this, he would look at her and see if she was staying on point.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Told him to go to bed. And he's come out of his room where he was playing, and he said, "All right, good night, Mama. Good night, puppies. Love you." And went to bed. He was doing something in his room because about an hour later I heard some noise, and I was like, "I don't care what you're doing in there, but go to sleep." And about midnight, I got up.
I don't get what you mean, Goose. I don't see it. I don't see. Maybe I'm missing it, but I don't see what you're seeing.
What, the wake up?
She said, well, when he went to his, was it when he went to his room?
At 6 a.m.
Oh, at 6 a.m.?
To bed.
Okay.
And, 6 o'clock, I went to wake him up for school Monday morning. And that's when he went in here.
Let's add Olivia.
What was going through your mind at
Yeah,
that point? Like, what were
he looks at Olivia at that point.
See if she's buying it.
Yeah. 7:25 was it?
Yes.
Okay, and that is exactly what it is. It's speculations. Now, what it can give you an official statement on
Official.
is TBI Newslink has released a statement from law enforcement, between local law enforcement,
Whoa,
state
who's
law
cracking their
enforcement,
knuckles right there?
She is.
some federal law enforcement, and they have analyzed that video so many times over that everything that everybody is trying to assume is a flashlight, I hate to say this, it's not. As much as we would love it to be one, it's not. I'm not going to go into details as far as where that video is shot from. What I
Okay.
can tell you,
Listen, there is something about this video, and listen, and there's something about this video, in my opinion, because Chris will say it's not a trash truck, right? But I can't tell you what it is. Then you go to law enforcement the other day. He's like, Nick Barris said, "Well, what is it?" He's like, I can't tell you. And Nick goes, "Well, why not?" And he's like, what else did he say after that? Something, why not? And he said it could be something we might use later on or something. And then, but where I am torn on this is Seth said without a doubt it is a trash truck. And they made no, he was 100% sure it was a trash truck where he seen it in the daylight. But then I think, well, did they tell, is there something there that, and they wanted to know where Nick got that video. And Nick said, I'm not revealing my sources. If it doesn't mean anything, why can't you, why, if it doesn't mean anything, why are you asking Nick where he got this from? And why why are we only seeing 1/4 of the screen? Why are we not seeing the other 3/4 of the screen? Did they, I just wonder, is there something there that they all know about that we're not supposed to know about? So, and, could Seth just, be agreeing that, so we don't know whatever it is at this point? I don't know. Trash trucks have cameras. I mean, ours doesn't. Would love to see the deception detective on this. Yes.
He did one today on this.
Okay. Good. Look at that.
as the parents, we have seen the video firsthand from law enforcement. We know exactly where it was taken from, and nothing that is being assumed right now is actually true about that video, unfortunately. And anything about any other videos or anything like that, please refer to the TBI news link that they have out there, the updated Amber Alert stuff, and it will give you the most up-to-date information that all law enforcement has, and they will give you current as far as what's what and how they're looking at things.
And if there's any new video, forward it to them.
Please.
Yeah. Security footage is really like a game changer. We're working on Riley's strain and trying to find like if someone missed one on a corner or something. So that's
around this neighborhood, and this whole community. I mean, I can tell you that much here. When it comes to the cameras, there has not been one person that has said no. And trust me, it is greatly felt that everybody has been so open, so helpful, and pushing out
That's a good point,
any
Mohawk.
which way they can. I mean, there's been some families that have actually been on vacation that weren't
Yes,
home, and
joking
they
about
got
sex.
they got permission from that family to take a look at their cameras and go in their houses without them even being present, which has been amazing. So, but yeah.
That's good.
Mm.
If there was something that you could say to Sebastian if he was listening, what would you say?
Oh God. That if you can see this or hear this,
Watch
that we
her.
just want you home, baby, and we love you. And there ain't nothing gonna stop us from coming and getting you and bringing you home.
I can't speak for his father, but I'm pretty sure we all have the same opinion that we love you, miss you, we want you home. And if you can, call us,
Yes,
get wherever you
Danielle.
can, let us know, and we will come get you.
Let us know. We'll come get you.
Why we sit at an RV park in a completely different state at that when it's
Let
under
us
30
know.
days.
Yep, we'll come get you. We're in a different state right now, camping out, but we'll see you.
It didn't even reach the 30-day mark and they went.
It didn't reach the 24-hour mark, and he was already back in Mississippi and stayed there 17 hours.
Yep.
Chris and Katie had no idea that there was people like us. They had no idea.
And Smiley made a good point. They didn't
What?
do enough research on Olivia and her reach on TikTok either.
Yeah. Olivia's got a far TikTok.
Signs that we've been blessed to have family, friends, and even some in the community that have been helping us, but we've been out spreading those as far as we can, even over state lines.
Yeah, see how she says over state lines?
Awareness, because
I just thought that was interesting. And even she says even up to state lines, I think it is.
friends and even some in the community that have been helping us, but we've been out spreading those as far as we can, even over state lines.
Over state lines.
Trying to get.
Yeah, even over state lines. I thought that was interesting. Even over state lines. Oh, Mississippi?
Awareness, because not everybody knows that he's missing, and there's a chance that if someone could see him and not even realize who he is. So we want to get his face out there because we want him home.
Surprisingly, even locally, there are some folks that don't even know what's going on, and it's kind of like a shocker. Like, how do you not know? It is amazing because in the past couple of weeks, you've got
Here we go.
2 cases. A 15-year-old boy that has vanished without a trace. You've got a 22-year-old 6 foot 4 or 7.
How does he know these facts? This popped on my head when I was cleaning, listening to you going over this the other night. How does he know these facts of going without a trace?
Because he's watching every freaking live. That's all they got is time right now. They're not working. All they do is sit in the RV.
But when was this interview?
I don't know, 2 weeks ago.
It was around the time, if not before, because Olivia likes to edit all of her stuff thoroughly. And it was released around the time Riley was disappearing.
Well, I know Olivia, she was in Tennessee at this time, obviously. And she he hadn't been found yet.
Look at his face. That's what he's gonna be looking like.
He's vanished without a trace. That's a huge significance here. That it's like, wow, how?
Yes, Salem.
It's like, wow.
That's a good another pause for him.
That's a huge wow.
So
That's scary.
and unfortunately, the college kid is from Missouri, I think.
Yeah, Missouri.
I can only imagine what his family is going through.
It's like your worst nightmare come alive.
Do you guys receive hate on the internet?
Yes, and it's ongoing. It's every single day. People are people, and they have their opinions. Everybody is formulating their idea of what's going on and who's guilty and who's not guilty because they want to know or they feel they need to know. There's a difference. Unfortunately, what I will tell you is that when you're the family in this position and you're working with law enforcement and everything's going the way it goes, people automatically assume this parent or that parent. And in this situation, I can promise you, every single vetted. I can't go into details, but I can tell you.
Okay, this is where it gets good. I want to word by word what he says.
Goes, people automatically assume this parent or that parent. And in this situation, I can promise you.
And in this situation, I can promise you.
Every single parent has been vetted.
Every single parent has been vetted.
I can't go into details, but I can tell you we have been vetted.
I can't go into details, but I can tell you that we have been vetted.
And we have been cleared.
And we have been cleared.
But everybody's still a suspect.
He can promise us, y'all, that they have been vetted. Every parent has been vetted, and every parent has been cleared.
Of all possibility of wrongdoing,
of any possibility of wrongdoing,
foul play, there's nothing.
Foul play, there's nothing
to that. We've heard all kinds of stories.
We've heard all kinds of stories.
Don't even go online anymore at this point.
Pretty much don't go
online. On the other hand, I do go on, and I do talk to these.
He is so full of, you know what? What did they do in California? Yeah. Egotistical. That's a good word.
Folks, and I want them to understand they have this formulated opinion on who we are, not who we truly are. They've never met us. We've never been.
It's not about you. It's about Sebastian.
Yeah. Well, no,
But
for them, it's about them. Nancy has been showing videos every day to see that they're still at the RV park. Nobody has the cameras to RV park, auto store, and other stores in Mississippi. Nancy asked the police, TBI, FBI. Thank you, Bubble. No, for them, it's about, no, we have been vetted. We have been cleared of any foul play or wrongdoing.
Hold them online. If you want to know, just ask me. I'll answer your questions.
Okay, Chris.
To the best.
Then hop up here. Take a link. I'm going to drop it for you right now.
I would love to ask him some questions.
There it is, Chris. Nobody's going to yell at you or anything like that. We might be a little brash, but we'll be respectful.
Best of what I can. There are some things that I cannot give you because law enforcement has dictated that we are not to provide certain information.
They have dictated that.
Can you go back a second?
Yeah, where?
Like literally just a second.
Because law enforcement has dictated that we are
Before
not
that?
to provide certain information.
Okay, yeah. I was just trying to.
But I have
Law
told them
enforcement
all
dictated them to only
If you
provide
wanna
certain
know,
information.
just ask me.
That's not true.
I'll answer your questions to the best of what I can. There are some things that I cannot give you because law enforcement has dictated that
Right
we
there.
are not to provide certain information.
Is
But
it
I
law
will
enforcement? Oh, hey, can you pause with his arms up?
direct
Sure.
Let's take a look.
information. But I will try. I am direct.
Okay, hold on. Back.
You know what I mean?
I'll answer your questions to the best of what I can. There are some things that I cannot give you because law enforcement has dictated that we are not to provide certain information. But I will try. I am direct. I am brash, but I am very
Did
respectful.
he put both arms up?
Nope, he's only putting the one.
Okay, gotcha.
And that's the one with the scratches. The other one
I'll
was
answer your
the
questions
circular
to the
one.
best of what I can. There are some things that I cannot give you because law enforcement has dictated that we are not
Okay.
to provide certain information.
I don't see anything on his arms there.
Mm-mm. It's a different angle of his arm. It's his forearm, not the side of it.
Oh, it was, wasn't it? Yeah. You're right. You're right.
But I will try. I am direct. I am brash, but I am very respectful. So if you have questions, ask. I'll give you what I can.
I've got questions.
Just be respectful, please.
I'll be
And
respectful.
keep in mind, there's 3 parents and there's thousands and millions of people out there that may have a question. We are trying to get to them. I promise you.
How has your guys' life been affected by that? Like, I know it's a broad question, but what's like when you wake up in the morning, what's it just like?
Miserable, to be honest with you.
Think of it like this. You wake up every morning and your routine is what it is and you know it.
We're at 40 days.
Now wake up when this happens and you can't figure out what to do.
A little Bantam rooster.
Every single day on trying to get out of the bed, to deal and face everybody's negativity, and you try to make it a positive thing.
You know what, Chris? I bet you that Sebastian got up every single day and heard your negativity and tried to make it a positive day. Betcha.
The fact that my son's still not home.
We have a bedroom that's empty that is never normally ever empty, except for when he's with his dad.
Thank you, Candy.
Every other weekend. So now we have a child that's missing. So
yes,
there's no words to.
He does pretty fast eye blinks when he says a child is missing too.
And now you don't know what to do.
Sebastian's parents also talked about how his actions and behaviors could be different, or how he would respond in a new environment.
Well, that's kind of tricky because Sebastian hasn't been on his medication in 20 days. So he is rambunctious. He's going to be hungry. He turns into a bottomless pit. I mean, he's your teenage boy, always hungry. On the spectrum, yes. But not one autistic child in this world is like another one. What we can tell you is he's smart. He can be goofy. He kind of has issues with personal space. He hasn't mastered.
He can be
up in your face kind of kid.
He can be aggressive if he's upset.
Yeah. He's emotional. He's a teenager.
He doesn't like punch and hit and throw, but he gets really like aggressive stanced or like clipped where he just won't talk to you, or if he's really upset, he like growls.
Yeah, he. Man.
Share look.
Chris just
Be
looks like he
vigilant.
can live it.
We don't expect everybody to stop what they do and spend every waking minute. But you would be surprised on how easily people are complacent and not realize certain things. We're all guilty because we're all human. We all live a daily life. But sometimes just being a little bit extra vigilant.
Aware of your surroundings in case there's something suspicious.
You never know. But
when you said we're all guilty, she really nods her head there.
keep looking, keep searching. Anything, reach
Yes.
out. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely keep his story in the spotlight, and all it takes is for one person to see something or know something, and that's just that one clue.
The old saying, see something, say something.
And a few others, but we're working with everyone we can. And taking, like, some people have been kind and reached out with resources that I didn't know were out there, and I've reached out to all of them. Truckers Against Trafficking, we reached out to them just in case.
Biker world, that's one thing everybody has in common is their love for a child.
Biker world.
They can't stand to see children missing, hurt. And it doesn't
I'm
matter
not
who
a
it is.
biker.
Doesn't matter what
Chris.
group it is.
You're a
That's
doofus.
one commonality between every group. And that's why as a part of being in that world, we go and we utilize our brothers and sisters to help spread that word. You'd be surprised on how easy it is to spot somebody. The biker. So,
how can people help?
This community, I'm gonna tell you right now, far and wide, multiple communities, counties, various people, some people in other states reach out either through social media, in person, but everybody is searching. They've looked. They're constantly looking. They're constantly giving us ideas. Hey, check this. What about this? All of that is great.
Report anything that could potentially, even if it's little.
Doesn't matter what it is. However, what we can ask is that instead of people assuming and trying to put negative out there, just try to stay with the facts and report all the things that are positive. Any ideas that may help, trust me, all law enforcement are available and they are looking at everything.
They sure
Sebastian Rogers.
They sure are. Thank you, Olivia, for great reporting. Okay. I'm done.
All right. Me too. Headed to bed.
I was not planning coming live. Like, I thought stuff was, going down. I wanted to get because y'all know, like my people know. But it's been real. It's been real. Thank you, Guidance, for coming up.
Thank you. Wasn't
We'll
planning
talk
it
for another
either.
3 hours tonight.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm gonna hop down.
Thank
You're
you so
such
much,
a
my love.
blessing.
You are
And I
such a
appreciate you.
appreciate you, my dear.
Thank you, chat, and I will see you next time around. I'm a pain in the butt.
You're not a pain in the butt. You're awesome.
Love y'all. Bye.
Thank you. Justin, you should play Weird Al's Word Crimes video music. I've never heard that, but I'm interested. Don't tempt me. It's probably copywritten. Probably can't do it. All right. Y'all, I love you. I appreciate you all. We're at 40 days for little Sebastian. It's too much. Maybe he will reappear during yeah, is the eclipse tomorrow? Is that when it is? When's the eclipse? Total eclipse of the heart. Yeah, we need to rest up. I didn't go to bed till 6 o'clock this morning and woke up at 9. Monday. Awesome. All right, guys. If anything goes down, you know I'll be here. Love y'all. Good night. God bless.